just barely bumped it so it didn't come down. It's not really running back into the hole.
Yeah, that stop is tricky right there, but boy, what a great run. I was impressed with the confidence it looked to me like she rode with today.
Yeah, that's right. She's been riding that horse for 5 years, and when you've rode a horse that much, you're comfortable. You know each other pretty much inside and out. She did a great job.
So we've got a pace-setting time now, and now Shadow's going to go to a lady who went to her first National Finals rodeo, and another inspiring story. This is Cassidy Dennison from the Navajo Nation, and she's got a horse called Eagle.
That's right. Cassidy is the first Navajo barrel racer to qualify for the National Finals rodeo. She has a huge fan base. Almost got the second barrel. Go on, Cassidy. Yes, she's a round off 3. Rarely see Cassidy hit a barrel. Great run, 14.
That's another a perfect combination between a horse and a rider that they get along very well. There's just something special about it. You can see it.
That's right. And the city of Gallup, New Mexico actually proclaimed November 1st as Cassidy Dennison Day in honor of her NFR qualification. She's a great cowgirl, a great rodeo family.
Well, we'd like to welcome all the Navajo Nation. I know they're tuning in. They love RFD TV out there, and we love them. As we get ready to go to our next contestant, here's Sharon Hall from Kingston, Oklahoma, Smith.
She's on the only stallion that will be running today. It's a Dash to Fame out of a Streaking 6 mare, Streaking to Fame. This shows you what the American can do. This horse is in retirement, and they got him out. She's been riding him for 5 months. Big, strong, smooth. He's very deceiving. You hear her hollering. That's kind of her thing. You hear her hollering at the second barrel. She gets everything out of one. She's a veteran trainer. That's a nice horse right here. This could totally change this stud's fan base.
Yeah, right. And breeding spread 14.644. Boy, I'm telling you, that was almost flawless.
Right. He's very deceiving. He can cut the clock off.
So things are starting off very well for the barrel racers. Good bend around that barrel, each one of them for that matter.
And it kind of looked like he slipped a little bit leaving the first barrel. Second barrel looks good. She lost her stirrup, but she stayed in the middle of him and got around the third barrel. And you know how that is in here.
Good, yeah, good eye. And no hesitation for the rider.
I think he'll book some breedings.
I think that was a good business decision whether they win money or not here to be here today. As we go now to Nancy Hunter, finished 9th in the world standings, so she's invited to be here.
That's right. Nancy's an ER nurse, so that tells you how good she is under pressure. This is an amazing horse. He is an arena record holder, and she gets the first barrel. He just comes back too hard right over top of it. Looks like she's going to get the second one, too. She does.
Don't see that very often.
And you hate that it happens of all places here with this much money up for stake. As we go now to Shelley Anzik, this is one of these stories coming in that she just needed to get around that barrel last year. She has made it back through the qualifying system, out around the country, made it to semifinals, the preliminary round. It's quite a process to get here, but it could be well worth it for the Montana lady.
She'll be going to the left barrel first, and this horse is so strong and runs as fast to the first barrel as he does home. So she told me her setup to the first barrel is really key, and it sets her whole run up. This horse is very long strided and really smooth and always moves forward in his turns. She's a tiny little rider. He always kind of goes by that second barrel. She gets her on the third, kind of buzz off, but he's so fast. We'll just see what the clock says.
14.859 is probably going to put her in it does put her in the top 4 for now. She's third. Sharon Hall leads with a 14.644. Cassidy Dennison is second. Shelley Anzik now is third. So times are taking shape right here. I'm going to put you girls on the spot. What's it going to take now that you've seen 5 runs?
You always have to put us on the spot, don't you?
That's what I do.
I mean, hey, you don't know after a couple drags what's going to happen, but...
Oh, yeah?
I mean, if it's going to get faster or a little bit slower, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe
You know, we always look at times from last year, and last year it took a 14.1, so the track is a little bit slower today. A 14.6 might get back.
In the auction as we get ready to go now to Trula Churchill from Valentine, Nebraska, riding the Worm.
That's right. This horse, if you could draw a perfect
what the time is going to be. Yeah, 14. Oh, really? I spoke too soon because I thought...
Looked faster to
It
me.
did look faster.
A lot faster. And Trula's
Looks like
going,
her
wait a minute.
in her face, it
Are
looks
you
like she
kidding me?
was faster than that, too.
Well, she knows her horse, and she knows when her horse makes a nice run. And
Well, I got to say, we do too. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking 14-3.
it looked like a nice run, and that horse, when he lays down a run like that, it's hard to beat.
When he lays down a run, he's got the speed.
He does.
Streak, a fling, and he can fly. I thought
He
that
did
was
have
going to be...
a little slip there, but
Yeah?
not enough
Okay.
for that.
Okay, well, it is what it is, and we're moving right along as we go now to a qualifier, Destri Davenport from Sandy Hook, Mississippi.
Second time she's ever ridden this horse. This is VF Sporty Design, and he's won about $300,000. He's gonna miss that first barrel. I haven't seen that horse do that very much. He really usually zones in on all the barrels, but that goes to show you he's not a rodeo horse, and he hasn't been in these situations. He has won a lot of money, but
And is that the horse you qualified on last weekend?
No,
That's a different horse. Yeah. Okay, so she'll go along with a 1567, and that will take us to one of our top 10 and a world champion. The 2012 world champion. Here's Mary Walker.
You know, Mary Walker could write a book on overcoming adversity. She's a three-time NFR qualifier, world champion. Latte was the 2012 AQHA Horse of the Year. You know, I love Starbucks, and Starbucks doesn't have anything on Mary Walker and Latte.
Yep, they're like Leah Garcia. They're naturally caffeinated, these horses here. So Mary Walker getting ready. Her husband now, Byron Walker, the world champion steer wrestler. They lost their son in a tragic accident. Then she herself was in an accident in a wheelchair. They said she'd never walk again just months after losing their son. And Latte looks to be firing. He is on fire.
Come on, third barrel.
Yes.
Yes, Mary, go on. He goes off just a little bit, but he's making a run. Oh,
What has happened here?
after the drag, it might just have got a little bit slower.
You said it.
I've got him
You
here.
warned me
Yep.
not to speak too soon because you
jinxed
never
him.
know. You never know what that drag is going to do. Usually it helps you. How can it hurt though?
you know, it just changes things at certain times. It might have just dug in a little deeper and made the track slower.
Well, apparently that's what happened. Now here's one of our stories coming in here. It's Jackie Jatzlau riding the 4-year-old I'm a Nonstop Fame horse. This is a lady that had a baby last October.
Trained this horse till she was 30 weeks along. This is a Dash to Fame. He is out of an awesome mare, and really, if he zones in on that first barrel, they need to watch out. This horse can fly. He stays on top of the ground, but he's 4 years old. He's never been anywhere like
This
this.
is only the 15th competition run this horse has ever had.
But if anybody can do it, Jackie can.
Why do you say that?
Because she is a competitor. She's been a winner her whole life. If he's
Little stumble, but he was zoned in on.
was zoned in.
He is locked down on these barrels, girls.
Jackie can make it happen.
All right.
Let's see what the clock says.
Come on, clock. 15:065.
She did have mistakes.
Yep, she did. A little stumble on that first barrel. I can see that. I can see that. That is a horse. They call the horse Prince. He's 4 years old, and I think we're going to hear a lot from that horse in the future.
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of seasoned rodeo horses cannot handle this situation. Last year we saw it with horses that we thought were going to go win, and he tripped really bad going into that barrel. And I don't see him twice, actually.
Yeah, and had trouble leaving right
Yep.
there, too. Those subtle movements that we only see in slow motion or a very trained eye to pick up on. As we go to Carly Pierce, top 10 in the world last year. And Carly, now living in Stephenville, Texas. Samantha?
This is the horse Lolo's bred in the NFR, and this is one of the fastest horses. She's been really the most athletic that she's ever ridden. And Carly can make one run harder than I think anybody I've ever seen. She probably weighs 90 pounds.
And she goes 15:204. 15:204, so at least it wasn't just Trula Churchill. I mean, at least there's some ladies and some horses that are putting together some what appear to be some really good runs, but there's some consistency there in the times. Let's go now to Callahan Crossley together. Jackie's on the left. They come together in the same position going in there.
Sharon came in a little tighter running into the first barrel, and that might have been what caused Jackie's horse to stumble going into the first barrel. She was pretty wide going in there. About the same position running to the third barrel.
Fantastic rodeo family from the Pacific Northwest in Oregon. Ranching rodeo Crossley family. Here's Callahan Crossley.
Callahan is on a 16-year-old horse that all three of her sisters have won their college region in. Oh, and he just gets too far out across the first barrel and stumbles pretty bad right there.
Chad, I think he stumbled going into the first barrel as well, and that may have caused the stumble on the backside.
Yeah, he may have. You know, she ran in pretty tight going into the first barrel, needed some more room, and just shot him out past the barrel.
So a barrel comes down, and take another look at that first barrel.
Yeah, he did. He stumbled going in and then stumbled in the back end. He stumbled on his front end going into the first barrel, stumbled on his back end leaving the first barrel.
Here's another look at the second barrel.
But he still, you know, what a seasoned horse. He still moved over and got on the right side for the second barrel, and he tried to make up time and really work there.
So now we'll go to Britney Diaz, who finished in the top 5, which means she's not eligible for the million. She can win $100,000 for first, $25,000 for second place, and 2 qualifications to the National Finals Rodeo for Britney.
We'll see if she can handle ground. This horse does really well in Canada. She bought this horse for $800 for extra credit for a colt starting class in college. We'll see if this investment pays off.
Little slippage on the back end, but there really was no momentum change. She is a little wide on that second barrel.
And you usually don't see that with this mare. She hesitated there. I think she just lost her footing, so...
No, not surprising. 15-1-8. Just a little bobble on every barrel.
And she usually doesn't go past barrel, so I think she just didn't feel maybe comfortable with the ground going into the second barrel. We'll see.
She's 8th right now, and will not make it back into the shootout round.
She just kind of acted like she just didn't want to get in the ground and get around the second barrel like normal. Just a little hesitation at the third. Disappointing.
So right now, Trula Churchill, 4th right now, and making it to the shootout, as is Shelley Anzik, Cassidy Dennison, Sharon Hall. Now we'll go to Jane Melby Shadow, who has been on several horses over the last 4 years with lots of success.
You know, this girl, she has just been on this horse. She just owned this mare for 6 weeks now. The interesting thing about Jane is she competed last year in the American as a seeded top 10 invited contestant. This year, she comes in through the qualifying system, so I think she could win on a stick horse.
Well, I agree. She is a top flight trainer. This horse, a little hesitation on the backside of that second barrel, gathers up, though, floating around those barrels.
Same thing. The ground at the second barrel just is not holding these horses.
14-983. She'll move into 4th right now. So Trula Churchill has been moved out. As we're getting ready to go to the McLoud family. This is the mother-daughter. Back-to-back. Starting with mom, who finished 4th in the world standings, Michelle McLoud. And as we talk about Michelle, Samantha, what a cowgirl this is.
She is. When I need help, that's who I call. She's an amazing horsewoman. This is Sky. This is probably the biggest horse here, and it's a mare. Kelly's Chick is her registered name. She's very independent, has a mind of her own, and when she takes off to the first, she's going to be zoned in on it, and if anybody can handle the ground, this horse can. Big pins, little pins, deep ground, hard ground. You hear her growling at her, too.
Whitesboro, Texas, Michelle McLoud.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
14-632 in the fastest run so far.
Go Mama!
She is in there. Her other daughter.
Listen to her. I mean, look at her. She's telling Lindsay. Give her a little bit of advice.
Oh How about that? Take us through that run.
That's a strong mare, I'm telling you, and she just is so efficient. She wants to do it her way, and Michelle just always keeps her hands low, out of her way, helps her. She's just a jockey.
And she came in here last year with a great shot, but had an injury.
Right.
Her vision wasn't 100%.
No, and that's scary running out that alley. But
Yes.
Caitlin ran that mare last year and kind of had some problems at the first.
So here's the daughter. Here's Lindsay. She made it to the semifinals last week based on she was the National High School Rodeo Champion. And here she is into the big time, the high school champion.
She hadn't run this mare very much. This is one of the fastest horses I think I've ever seen. This is a streak of flame, and she's going to be dragging her butt right here into the first barrel.
She set it up. The high school champion sets it back up. She's tight around number 2 as well. Not leaving a lot of room. Holds the mare out and is perfect around that third barrel.
What a jockey.
Man, that was her MO coming in. I mean, even as a teenager, people say she is one of the best riders.
You can put her on anything. She can train them, ride them. She can handle the pressure. She was going for first.
Oh, no doubt about it. There's
Hollering the whole way.
no regrets. Unfortunately, she's just outside the top 4 at number 5 right now. How about that move on that second barrel?
She's an athlete too, and that mare for a young horse that hasn't been that much, she was very impressive.
I guess it was the first barrel. She went left first. As
Right.
we watch this replay, wrapping around there just wasn't a lot of room around any of them, especially that one. Look at her. She still kept her nose tipped and kept the barrel up. Now,
Good
that's
thing her
amazing.
reins were long enough to go right there because she didn't let go of her reins. She did that with the reins in her hand.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm saying here with Kaylee and Cowboy Dan. She's had him since she was a little kid, and he was young, and he's probably one of the most consistent horses out there today, and he's going to be on cruise control. If anybody can handle the ground, he can. Awesome first barrel. Cowboy Dan is just...
So this is the other blonde. This is not Chaney if you're watching at home. She's 3 away after Kaylee Bass out of Florida goes, and she's a 15. Who would have thought? Samantha, you're totally surprised.
The Calgary champion. I mean, she's been under this pressure before, and Cowboy didn't make any mistakes, but it's just heavy.
It must be. So right now, Shelley Anzik, 14.859. Samantha, did you see anything that she could have done different or anything go wrong?
I don't think so. I think he just,
It's a horse race today.
it's a horse race, and he didn't hit. Sometimes, like in the summer, you'll see him hit another gear on the way home, and maybe that was it.
So Kaylee Bass will not make it into the shootout round. She did have a fantastic 2014, led the season most of the year, finished 3rd overall. We go now to Carmel Wright. Carmel Wright to go next. And Shadow, tell us about Carmel.
You know, Carmel, she's my sleeper. This mare is so awesome. Carmel is originally from New Zealand, and she bumped this horse off the track. It had a 45 speed index, and has done amazing things in the rodeo arena.
Had a what speed index?
45 when
That's
she
it?
bought her.
What did you buy?
I guess she knew something we did.
I guess. Oh, wow, look at that. She's in the top 4 with a 14.839.
Wow,
I
good
guess
run.
she did know.
She's quick.
Yeah, that's right.
Good run.
So now we'll go to last year's champion here in a moment. Lisa Lockhart will get set to go, so we congratulate Carmel, who is 2nd place behind Channy Chamberlain at the semifinals qualifier. There you have your top 4. As we speak, Sharon Hall and Carmel Wright have a shot at the million if they can beat the top 10, but this is a lady that won the event at the American last year and the $100,000. She was runner-up to the World Championship. She's the defending champion. We're talking about South Dakota's Lisa Lockhart, Samantha.
This is the kind of horse we all want. Every barrel racer wants a horse just like Louie. You watch Lisa's body language. She's always very relaxed. Louie is so smooth, so consistent, same run every time. She might have to lift her leg like she usually does at the first barrel, and that's about the only thing she ever does.
She did. And she's good. Round 1 and 2 and 1 more, and that.
Could be a repeat from last year.
Oh, I mean, now she is bringing it home. 14.695. She's in the top 4 at 3rd right now.
He's awesome.
He is amazing. Louie and Okie with cash. We're going to take you through that run again, specifically that first barrel. And Samantha, you called it, that leg lift.
That's just her signature move. I need one that I know what to do every time, just
couldn't have slid a piece of paper in there between the horse and that barrel.
No, and he has a reining background, and he looks so easy to ride. But if you talk to Lisa, she has to do everything perfect every time.
All right, the ground's getting deeper here with Channy Chamberlain. Shadow, is that going to slow him down any?
Hey, Liz, we're all ready to watch this run right here. And you know what? The competitive edge right here that she has, she's just a kid at the carnival having fun on her favorite horse. So
here she goes. Flojo and Channy
missed
Chamberlain.
the first barrel a little bit, but look at her. She's pulling him around there, getting back in position, going to the second barrel, running a little bit wide to the third barrel, but he corrects and comes back really good. He handles the ground. The crowd is going crazy.
Oh my goodness. 14,892 is seventh. Just, you called those bobbles just a little bit wide leaving and a couple of barrels, but she's getting quite an ovation here. It's been quite a story to follow this week. She picked up $65,000 through sponsorship and earnings last week.
It did, and you know, she was going for it. She was riding hard, and there's no regrets for this run right here. She did everything she could do. She was just going for it.
There is no doubt that's not the last time that we're going to see Channy Chamberlain and Flojo.
Absolutely not. You know, Fallon Taylor began her career at age 7 with the WPRA, and Charmaine James won her first gold buckle at 14, so this girl has a bright future.
And the horse is 14 years old, so got a few years left. She's quite a competitor as we get ready to go to the world champion. Here is Fallon Taylor on another flow.
Hey.
Closeris.
And look at her. She has her helmet on, 10 ounces with rhinestones, weighs less than a hat.
Okay.
And this is the tiniest little horse that we'll see today.
900 pounds soaking wet is what I'm guessing. They won the world championship together last year. She was in the broadcast booth a year ago here at the American, and here we go, baby Flo.
She has a good time every time she goes through the gate.
She does. And a 15,129 is not going to be enough. Cassidy Dennison still holding on to fourth.
You don't see her getting outrun very much.
No, you don't. As we... I got to take a breath. I tell you what, there's just a whole lot of things going on right here, including exemption. Amberley is the fan choice. This is the Americans invitee exemption as a legend, the 11-time world champion, Charmaine James Shatta. And last year, after coming up, people hadn't seen her in years, she showed up here and she was a contender.
She was. I mean, this is the greatest barrel racer of all time. Every single girl that wants to be a barrel racer pretends to be that they are Charmaine James in their living room. What can you say about the greatest barrel racer of all time? She's on Grasshopper, the same horse she competed on here last year. She won her first title when she was 14 and then went 10 consecutive after that. She won more in 2002. And here she goes. Good first barrel.
Ooh, great first barrel.
I'm watching as hard as I can. I can see if I can pick up a tip or 2 or 3. This is legit. Wow. How can it get any better than that?
She's so cool. Now, 14,967 is 8th overall, but it's just always an honor to get to watch her in the competition arena again. There's a whole new generation of girls that have not got to watch her, and that's what the American's all about.
That's one of the reasons this thing is so cool. You get to actually watch the legends that you grew up watching or hearing about, and just to watch her run barrels, it gives me chills every time.
So she will not make it into the shootout round. Absolutely respectable run. Again, as we go to Amberley Snider of Elkridge, Utah.
Yeah, you know, and Amberley definitely has not let fear stand in the way of living out her dreams. I'm so excited to get to watch her and so excited for her that she gets to do this today. How cool. What an overcomer.
You know, I told Randy Bernard, I said, yesterday I said, oh no, another ice storm. Who would have thought it? I said, I know there won't be as many tickets sold and your bottom line won't be as good, but I said, I'm going to tell you something. My little 14-year-old daughter got to meet Amberly Snider, and there's thousands of girls that will literally have their focus in life changed because of what this girl's putting out on Facebook and because of her attitude about life. I said, Randy, this thing was an absolute success. Win, lose, or draw because of the opportunity to tell Amberly's story.
For sure.
They're showing the feature in-house, getting to know her, and here's a lady that is the real deal. I mean, it's not like this is something that a face she puts on for the camera. This is every day, all day. She's going to win. She's going to walk.
And she's a cowgirl. I mean, she ropes at the college rodeo still. She's got to be so strong. She ropes and not only she sticks it on him. She sticks it on him fast. I saw some video of her, and so she won the all-around at the Little Britches finals 5 months before her accident. She's a cowgirl.
She's proof that the bigger the test, the bigger the testimony. If you take your position and help other people, then you can overcome a lot of things that are standing in your way. There's always, she says, there's always something to be thankful for if you look hard enough.
That's right. She keeps her horse so calm coming in, sets him up perfectly, goes to the left barrel first.
And nailed it. She nailed the second barrel.
She gets tied around the second barrel, and it's just perfect.
She's perfect around 3. Here comes Amberly Snider, and she's going to be amongst them with a 15.369. She is not going to make the cut in the top 4, but I'm telling you what, she played at a pro level here, girls.
Absolutely, she did. She just kept hustling. How many people can whip like that? And getting a standing ovation here at AT&T Stadium. It doesn't get any better than that. She's a
Reigns
hero.
whipped and got her reins back.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. This is an emotional time here at AT&T Stadium.
She's waving back. How cool is that?
Dave Appleton, World All-Around Champion Cowboy, is with us. Was with us last week during semifinals. Let's go to him with Amberly Snider. Dave.